Example 6, you'll see is a little bit different. Okay, we're still dividing by a binomial, but the leading coefficient there is not 1. Okay, it's 9p minus 2. So it's not quite so straightforward. 2 is not what goes on our shelf. We've got to solve this for p. So we've got to add 2 to both sides. So we get 9p equals 2. We got to divide by 9. So p is 2 over 9. Okay, 2 over 9 goes on the shelf. And then we're going to have to remember to do something at the end as well. All right, let's check our polynomial. Standard form, yes. P to the fourth, p cubed, p squared, p constant. We're not missing anything, and it's in order. So 9, 25, negative 78, 88, and negative 16. We're probably going to have to rely on our calculators a little bit more because we're dealing with a fraction. Okay. Bring down the leading coefficient of 9, and then we multiply. Well, that's not that bad. 2 over 9 times 9, the 9's canceled. That's just 2. Okay. So then we add. 25 plus 2 is 27. 27 times 2 over 9 is 6. Add, we get negative 72. Negative 72 times 2 over 9 is negative 16. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Add, we get positive 72. So we get positive 16, and negative 16 plus 16 is 0. Okay, so we got a remainder of 0. That means it was evenly divisible. Now, this time, before we put our variables in there, since the number on the shelf was a fraction, we've got to divide all those coefficients there by the number that was in the bottom of the fraction. So we've got to divide these all by 9. And guess what? It's going to divide evenly. Okay, those are all going to divide evenly. If they don't, then you're dividing by the wrong number, or you got something wrong somewhere in there. Okay, so 9 divided by 9 is 1. So we've got 1p cubed plus 3p squared minus 8p plus 8. Hurry. Okay, let's do another one with the fraction here. 7b to the fifth plus 6b to the fourth minus 35b minus 31 divided by 7b plus 6. Okay, so we got to subtract 6. 7b equals negative 6. Divide by 7. b equals negative 6 over 7 goes on our shelf. Okay, we're in standard form, but we're missing a few terms. So, coefficient 7, 6, we're missing the cubed, we're missing the squared, then we've got negative 35 and negative 31. Okay, so bring down the 7. 7 times negative 6 over 7 is negative 6. 6 plus negative 6 is 0. So when we multiply anything by 0, we get 0. We add 0 and 0, we get 0. We multiply by 0, we get 0. We add, we get 0. Whew, almost done with the zeros. Multiply. Add, we finally get a number. Negative 35. Negative 35 times negative 6 over 7. Negative times negative is a positive. 35 divided by 7 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Add, we get a remainder of negative 1. So we go through and we divide everything by 7. You don't divide the remainder, okay? You do not divide the remainder. That's why I like to put a box around it. It reminds me not to touch the remainder. I just divide the coefficients. So we start with v to the 5th. So we have 1v to the 4th. That's v cubed, v squared, v. So we skip all the way down to our constant term. Negative 35 divided by 7 is negative 5. We had a negative remainder, so usually on the answer key, this is what they'll do. They'll put a minus instead of the plus, the fraction. Okay? If the remainder is negative, they'll put a minus in front of that fraction. Okay? I'm okay if you put plus and the negative with the 1. That's fine. It's the same thing. Okay? I wanted you to see where the answer key gets their stuff from. Okay? So start with 13 through 17. Just don't forget, in the end, divide by the number that was in the denominator. Everything but the remainder. Okay? Divide everything but the remainder by the number that was in the denominator. And you should always be getting whole numbers. You shouldn't have to worry about fractions here.